Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be talking about what you're going to do for pre-deployment. So pretty much we're going to get a little bit into the pre-deployment training, stuff like that, and we're just going to get right into it right now. Let's go. Yeah, so starting off with everything, just don't mind the mess. You know, obviously stuff happens. But what we're gonna get into today is I'm gonna start off with heavy firing. So what's gonna happen is when you get tasked for deployment, there's gonna be a few different things you have to go do. You're either going to go do like heavy firing, where you're going to do your requals on like your 240 Bravo and your M249 SAW. You may also, depending on where you're going, you may have to get your 203 certificate, or certified on 203 again. You might have to get certified on a shotgun. And then, of course, your normal M4 and now M18 is the new pistol weapon quals. So you're going to have to make sure that all your weapon quals are up to date. And then you're also going to have to get additional weapon quals on top of that, which, like I said, maybe the 203, the 240, the 249, or the shotgun. So for me, it was the 240. That's what you see at the beginning of the video. We were out there shooting a 240. Some people, it just kind of depends on where you're going and what your mission is going to be, what weapons you get qualified on. So that's going to kind of be like one of the first steps. You're going to have to get, make sure you get your weapons quals first. After that, I took like a month break and then went to what is called tier, which is also known as RTC. So there's three different sides for tier. There's the E1 through E4, which is tier 1. There's the E5, which is tier 2. And then there's the E6 and above, which is tier 3, I believe. So while we're in tier, you have your airmen, you have your NCOs, and they all get put in the different positions of what they're going to be while they're there. So like your E5s are going to be your fire team leads, your E6s are going to be your squad leads, and then your E4 and below are going to be your fire team members for the entirety of tier. So the way it works, basically it's like your rank structure of how it works, and that's why they have the three tiers there, so that way they can kind of mesh everybody together, and then you have those levels throughout tier. So when you goes out to doing like field days and stuff, you have your squad lead that does the squad lead stuff, you have your fire team leaders do their stuff, and you have your fire team members that do their jobs. So starting off with tier, now this is current tier. Now current tier is going to change next year, but I'll kind of touch on that a little bit later. But for now, what to expect now is, so there's a few different places you can go for tier. You can go to Texas, you can go to Germany, you can go to Guam. So you go to like all these different places to go do it. I got to go to Germany, which was actually a lot of fun overall. Not really the time of training, but the time afterwards was a lot of fun. Also want to apologize for all of this stuff going on outside because we have neighbors cutting down trees and whatnot, so it's kind of not ideal. And of course, obviously, the camera doesn't want to focus for some reason. Can't get it to focus. Anyways, the video will press on. So for now, it's a 2-week course. So we went there originally. We flew there one day, in processed, and then started work the next day. And then we did basically 2 weeks straight of training. So we did the first week was basically just classroom, everything. So that's the only thing I really didn't enjoy about it is the fact that you're going over law enforcement and stuff. Don't really agree with it, but it is what it is, considering that shouldn't be your priority. For the purpose of the training, it shouldn't be like DUIs and stuff like that. But it is what it is. It's set up a certain way that it is, and that is also why the curriculum is changing come next year. So you start off with that. You do about a week of like classroom stuff. So now this is the other thing. Depending on where you go, it's going to be different how you live. and I also have heard that the course curriculum is different. So I went in Germany. I had a buddy that went in Texas, and we both had completely different stories of what we've actually did the entire time. So I guess, is more towards going to Germany side of things because the curriculum does just change, I guess, depending on where you go. Basically, you spend your first week in classroom, and then the second week is where it starts to get more fun. So during the second week, you will do a lot of CQB stuff. You'll do room clearing, house clearing, building clearing. You're gonna mess around with like flashbangs and actually do building clearing. You'll either do them with sims or blanks. You actually will have op4 there. They kind of just like walk you through the process of everything at first, and then you just run through it, and then you start putting people in there, and then start using blanks, and then just actually start moving through there the way you're supposed to. You start using blanks, start using flashbangs, everything else. So it's actually really fun. It's really cool. So you do that for one day. Another day is sustainment firing. So you'll actually go there. You will fire an M4. You will fire an M9, which is weird for us because we all have the M18s. But we fired the M9 and the M4. The next day, we all went out to a different range, which was a 300-meter range, and we did stress firing. So you would start at the 300-meter mark, and you would sprint down to the end of the field, engage your target with 30 rounds. It'll be 10 standing, 10 kneeling, 10 laying down in the prone position, and then you run back to a certain amount of distance, do the same thing again, run back a certain amount of distance, do the same thing, and et cetera, until you're all the way back at the end of the range. And then once you're at that 300-meter mark, then you're doing the same thing for the last time. So that was actually really cool and really fun. After that, you go into your field days. So from the Germany standpoint, we only had 3 field days, other than the CQB day and the firing days, which I don't really consider those field days. So one of the field days is nothing but mounted ops. So that's all convoys. That's convoys. Just driving around in Humvees all day, learning different driving techniques, different convoy techniques. Just pretty much not only learning how to drive it, but also how to look out for IEDs. This is where you're going to do a bunch of IED lanes and stuff like that. And then the next day is going to be like a dismounted day. So that's where you're going to go into nothing but land nav, patrols, IED lanes, stuff like that all over again. But this time it's going to be the entire day spent on foot. And the final day is where you go in and you put all of that stuff together. So you do final FTX day, which is field training exercise day, where you take everything that you learned from the last 2 weeks and you put it all together. So it was a full day of basically you had to build a plan. They gave you coordinates of something that you have to, of an objective that you need. And then after that, you will then go assault that objective. And then once you get there, then you trek back, and then you hop in Humvees, and then you go do mounted ops. They give you new coordinates, and then you have to go put the coordinates in the map, find the coordinates, and then lead your team to those coordinates where you're going to do mounted ops. And then after that, you're going to dismount again, and then pretty much finish out the day with dismounted ops. Pretty much they'll just give you a bunch of different objectives with different coordinates that you have to put in every single time you complete a mission. You got to put in the new coordinates. Look on this where it comes down to like all your land nav people, and then you're going to basically put everything you've learned all goes into this final day. Now I really enjoyed those last 3 days. I did. It was fun. But I like being outside and I like going and doing stuff. I don't like sitting inside and just listening nor watching a PowerPoint just go across your face for 8 to 9 hours a day for a week. That kind of sucks. But the field days are a lot of fun. So now this is where the plus side comes in. Depending on who you are. For me, the new tier is going to be nice because they were talking about it being 24 days, I think, instead of 12. So it's going to be like an extra 10 days, 12 days long. So it's going to be like an extra 2 weeks, kind of roughly. So that's actually really cool because what they're going to do is they're going to make pretty much 90% of that course is going to be outside, doing the stuff you're learning and being taught things and being able to apply these things. Instead of trying to crunch all that stuff into 3 days, a lot of it is going to just be field stuff, which is actually really good, because that's where you get your training. You don't get your training from sitting in a classroom. You're going to get your training from actually going out and doing the things. So the new tier that's coming next year is actually going to be 90% field, not death by PowerPoints. So that's really nice. Can't complain about where we were living in Germany. It was nice. I mean, the squadron was beautiful. It had its own gym, armory, everything. It was just crazy. So that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this video. I just wanted to kind of throw out just the basics of everything. So like if you know what you need, stuff like that. If you're going to tier soon, you can kind of know what to expect from it. At the end of this video, I will roll like a little bit of clips from like the dorms, the people I met there, a little bit of firing and stuff like that at the end of this. So if you want to stick around and watch just like a little, probably not so good montage because it's just me putting it together, feel free to stick by for that. If not, guys, just don't forget, if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and smash that like button. If I'm providing good content to you and it's actually knowledgeable and I'm actually helping you guys, then help me and smash that subscribe button for me. It does help a lot. Also, if you guys have any questions or anything else, drop a comment down below. All my social media is going to be down below. Feel free to hit me up on there. Hit me up on YouTube. Also, I'm going to get back into streaming for a little bit before I leave. So feel free to hop in on my live streams here on YouTube and ask all the questions you want. That seems to be the best way to be able to interact with the people on this page. Instead of just texting back and forth, you can type out something and I can let you know. And usually when we're live streaming, there's multiple people on the live stream that are all military members that have different experiences with everything. So you get more than just one opinion for whatever question you ask. So feel free to go ahead and stop in for that. But if you hit that bell notification, it'll let you know whenever I go live. It'll let you know whenever a video drops. And you'll always be the first one to go see it. So until next time, I will see you guys later.